Hello everyone, welcome to the another lecture of this course, Digital System Design using Verilog SDL. In this lecture, we will learn the behavioral modeling in Verilog SDL. It is very useful, important and popular modeling style to model the digital circuits. In this lecture, we will learn the following topics: Introduction to behavioral modeling, procedural blocks, procedural assignments, event condition, conditional statements, looping statements, and generate block. Each topic contains sufficient example to make the better understanding. Introduction to behavioral modeling. In last lectures, we have discussed the different modeling styles available in Verilog, such as switch level, gate level, and data flow. These modeling styles are useful for the digital circuits having the less number of components, means complexity of the integrated circuits are very low. Switch level modeling is helpful in case of few transistors connected in a circuit. Gate level modeling is useful if circuit complexity is larger than the switch level circuits and components can be treated as the logic gates. If circuit complexity is further increased, then designer move to use the logic equations and see the movement of data at different terminals. If circuits are VLSI circuits where complexity is too large, then it does not make sense to model them using the switch level, gate level or data flow modelings because it requires lot of work, time and efficiency. Also, the length of programs will be increased and it is quite difficult to search any error available in the program. At this stage, designers prefer the algorithms based on the behavior of the circuits. Overall behavior of the circuits is noticed and modeled using the procedural blocks. Behavioral modeling is the highest modeling style in Verilog and behavior of the circuits are mentioned in terms of procedural assignments or procedural statements. There are number of behavioral constraints in Verilog that provides the large flexibility using this behavioral modeling. Procedural blocks. There are two types of procedural blocks in Verilog and these are initial and always. All the behavioral statements are mentioned inside the procedural blocks. Behavioral statements are also called sequential statements. Verilog is concurrent language, therefore all the procedural blocks are executed concurrently and start at time 0 if delay values are not provided. Each procedural block shows a separate entity and cannot be nested. It is a mandatory condition that left-hand side variables of the sequential statements must be registered data types so that it can hold a value for a duration till the change in it. That's why these are called sequential statements. This is also a difference in data flow and behavioral modeling. In case of data flow modeling, the left-hand side variable must be a nets data type. In case of continuous assignment, initial and always are the reserved keywords in Verilog for the execution of sequential statements. The difference between the initial and always procedural blocks is in the way of execution. Initial block executes the statement only once while always block executes in repetitive manner till the event condition is true. Initial block is used for test benches and not for synthesis. Number of initial blocks may be in a program but not in nested fashion. If there is more than one sequential statement in procedural blocks, then begin and end statements must be used. An example using initial block is given here. The values of inputs A, B and C are initialized at certain times and the output D is the AND operation of inputs A, B and C. The values of A, B and C are initialized in initial blocks, therefore A, B, C must be registered data types And the value of D, that is the output variable, is also defined in initial block. It means D is also a register data type. So in this example, we have taken 4 variables A, B, C and D, and these all the variables should be a register data type. And there are 3 initial blocks inside this program. And in first initial block, we are defining the variable A at time t equal to 0 without any delay value. In case of second initial block, there are 3 sequential statements. Therefore, we are using begin and end statement. And here the value of V is 1. C is defined after the time delay is 10 time unit. It means when the total time is 15 time unit, then C is at logic 0. And D is defined after the time delay 15 time unit. It means when total time is at 30 time unit, then D is the end operation of A, B and C. And in the third initial block, we are terminating the program, and here we are providing the delay, that is 50 time unit. So program is terminated at t equal to 80 time unit, then end module. The second procedural block is always block. It works in a cyclic manner. It never terminates until the power supply is not cut. The syntax for always block is given here. Always at the rate, then event condition. This event condition is also called sensitivity list. And number of sequential statements inside the begin and end statement. So one example is given here. Example is generation of clock signal using always block. Initial and always, we are using both procedural blocks in this case, and at time t equal to 0 we are initialized the clock at logic 0. Here next procedural block, that is always block, at the rate, then clock. If there is any change in the clock signal, then this sequential statement will be executed. So after the 5 time unit, clock is the bitwise not operation of clock signal. It means clock is at logic 0, then after 5 time unit, clock will be at logic 1. It means total time period of the clock signal is 10 time unit. And there is no system task, that is $finish, used in this programs. Therefore, this program is run infinitely. Procedural assignments. Procedural assignments are used for updating the register data type variables in behavioral modeling. Register data type variables hold the values and will be unchanged till the next procedural assignment assigns the value. In procedural assignments, the left hand side variable must be a register data type, while right hand side variable may be nets or register data types. The sequential statements within the procedural blocks are called sequential statements, and those assignments are called procedural assignments. And there are two procedural assignments in Verilog, and these are blocking and non-blocking assignments. Blocking assignment blocks the execution of next statement until the previous statement is not executed. It means these are sequential in nature and execute the statements one by one. Equal sign shows blocking assignment. An example is given here. One procedural block is used, that is initial block, and there are 3 sequential statements. So we are using begin and end statement. In first sequential statements, we are initialized the value of variable A after the time delay of 5 time unit. It means when total time is at 5 time unit, then A is at logic 1 and V is initialized after the time delay 10 time unit. It means when total time is at 15 time unit, then the value of V is at logic 0. And in next sequential statement, C variable is initialized after the time delay 15 time unit. It means when total time is at 30 time unit, then C is A plus B, that is the addition of A and B numbers. So here we are using equal signs, and these equal signs show blocking assignments. In non-blocking assignment, no statement is blocked by another statement. All statements are executed concurrently. This property may be used for designing sequential circuits where current outputs depends on current inputs as well as on previous outputs. Less than, that is commonly called assign to. Sign is used for non-blocking assignment. For a good design, designers generally avoids both assignments in a block. The example using non-blocking assignment is provided here. One initial block, that is procedural block, is used here, and there are three sequential statements and three variables are there, A, B and C. These three variables should be register data types because we are using procedural block here, that is initial block. In this case, we are using less than equal to sign, and this representation show the non-blocking assignments, and here all the sequential statements executed parallelly. It means after the 5 time unit delay, A is at logic 1. After the 10 time delay, B is at logic 0. And after 15 time unit, C is the addition of A plus B. It means here total 15 time unit is required to execute this expression. While in case of last example, designer requires 30 time unit to execute the complete program. That is the difference between blocking and non-blocking assignment. Event condition. Event condition is important description in procedural block always. Sequential statements in always block will be executed if they meet the event condition defined at the start with the always block. Event condition starts with symbol at the rate. There are four ways to present the event condition. And first way is the signal value change. It means in a program when there are number of variables and one variable is affect the sequential statements, then we simply use that variable. In second way, we can use the reserved keyword available in the Verilog HDL, and these reserved keywords are positive edge and negative edge. In third way, we can use the combination of number of signals or using the reserved keywords, like that when we have number of variables in a program and these variables are also affecting the sequential statements, then we simply use at the rate a b, or the number of variables we can define inside this bracket. We can use a comma like that, a comma b comma c, if there are three variables, or we can use at the rate positive edge clock or negative edge. It means when there is any change in positive edge clock or negative edge reset, then the statement is executed. Fourth way is when there are number of variables and all variables are affecting the sequential statements, then we are simply using at the rate and star. D flip-flop is designed using always block. In D flip-flop, there is one input D, one clock signal CLK, and two outputs Q and QR are required. And we are assuming that when clock is at positive edge, then output Q is equal to input D. The Verilog program for the D flip-flop is given here. Module reserved keyword, module name D underscore FF, D flip-flop. And then input output terminals D, clock, Q and QR. Input D and clock, output Q and QR. Here we are using Q and QR in procedural block. That's why we should define Q and QR as a register data type using the reserved keyword reg. And here we are using procedural block, always block at the rate pause is. Pause is the positive edge clock. When clock is at positive edge, then these sequential statements are executed. And here we are using non-blocking assignments. So both the statements are executed parallelly. Q assigned to D, QR assigned to not operation of D, and then AND module. Another example using always block is provided here. A boolean function, that is out equal to ab plus c plus d bar, is implemented using always block. So Verilog program for this boolean function is given here, model, and here inputs are a b c d and output is out. So input output terminals are defined here. Inputs are A, B, C and D. Output is out. And here we are using output in the always procedural block. That's why it should be a register data type. So output reg out. We are using fourth way to represent the event condition, that is at the rate and bracket. Inside this bracket we are using star sign. It means if there is any change in the variables a, b, c or out, then this expression is executed. Conditional statements. Verilog allows conditional statements as available in high language like C. If in a procedural block there are number of sequential statements and the execution of these statements depend on some condition, then conditional statements may be used. The important conditional statement is if else. There are three standard formats for if else statements, like if condition then one sequential statement. In case of two sequential statements, we can use if then else. In case of more than two sequential statements, we can use if else if else if else. This one is called nested if else conditional statement. If there are number of sequential statements, then this program will be lengthy or complicated. So in place of nested if else, designer can use case conditional statement, and the syntax for case conditional statement is given here. Case, then condition in a bracket, and condition 1, condition 2 and number of conditions. It depends on number of sequential statements. Initially we are mentioning a condition here. If this condition is matched with the condition 1, then sequential statement first is executed. If it is not matched with this one, then simulator check the match process with the condition second. If it is matched, then sequential statement 2 is executed. If it is not matched, then move to the next statement, like that. If none of the condition is matched here, then we can define a default value, and this default value we can take any expression here, then AND case. And there are two variations of case statement, and these are case Z and case X. In case of case Z, all Z values are the don't care, while in case of case X, all X and Z values are the don't care values. Red color words are the reserved keywords in Verilog throughout the course. Example for clarify the use of if-else statement. Here 2 to 1 multiplexer is designed using if-else statement. In case of 2 to 1 multiplexer, there are two data lines, and these are I0, I1. One selection line, that is cell, and one output, that is out. So we are defining input ports I0, I1 cell and output port out. And this out variable we are using inside the procedural block. That's why it should be a register data type. And then procedural block, that is always block, always at the rate I0 or I1 or cell. If there is any change in input variables, then these statements will be executed. Begin if cell. Condition is given here cell. If this condition is true, it means when cell is at logic 1. If cell is not equal to 1, then out equal to I0. This expression will be executed, and then AND module. So this one is the simple 2 to 1 multiplexer design using if-else statement. Another example using if-else statement Here we are designing 2 to 4 decoder circuit. In case of 2 to 4 decoder circuit, there are two inputs. Here we are taken as input 2, input 1 and 4 output lines. Out 4, out 3, out 2, out 1. Two input lines means there are 4 possible combinations 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1. And at the output, one output line will be at logic 1 and other output lines will be at logic 0 for a particular input combinations. In case of 0 1, out 2 is selected. In case of 1 0, output out 3 is selected. In case of 1 1, 4 is selected. Verilog program using if else statement is given here. Module, that is keyword, decoder, that is module name, input output terminals, inputs in1 in2, outputs out1 out2 out3 out4, and these output terminals are taken inside the always block. So we should declare these as the register data types. One procedural block, that is always at the rate in1 in2. If there any change in the input variables, then the statements will be executed. Begin if concatenation operation into in1. When this one is equal to 0 0, this one is for this condition when into 0 in1 0. Then out 1 will be at logic 1 and others are at logic 0. So concatenation of output, that is out 4, out 3, out 2, out 1, and here out 1 is at logic 1 and other outputs are at logic 0. If this condition is not true, then move to the next expression, and here we are using else if concatenation operation if it is equal to 0 1. In case of 0 1, out 2 will be at logic 1 while others are at logic 0. So concatenation operation of out 4, out 3, out 2 and out 1. It will be 0 0 1 0, 0 0 1 0. Similarly, for next condition, when concatenation operation of into in1 is 1 0 1 0, then output, that is concatenation operation of out 4, out 3, out 2, out 1 will be 0 1 0 0, 0 1 0 0. If this condition is not true, then the last one is 1 1. Concatenation operation of into in1 is 1 1. In this case, out 4 at logic 1 and others outputs will be at logic 0. Out 4 is at logic 1 and others are at logic 0. If none of the condition is matched, then we are declaring out 4, out 3, out 2 and out 1 as a high impedance states and module. A 4 to 1 multiplexer is designed here using case statement. 4 to 1 multiplexer, there are 4 inputs. These are I0, I1, I2, I3 and 2 selection lines, cell 0 and cell 1 and 1 output out. Inputs are I0, I1, I2, I3, cell 0, cell 1 and output is out, and here out is coming in the left hand side of the procedural assignment. That's why out will be a register data types. We are declaring as rect out. Procedural block always at the rate. If any change in the input variables or selection line, then these sequential statements will be executed. Begin case, and here we are taking concatenation of cell 1 and cell 0. If cell 1 is at logic 0 and cell 0 is at logic 0, it means combination is 0 0. In this case, output will be at I0. Here we are using non-blocking assignments. It means all the sequential statements will be executed parallelly. In case of cell 1 0 and cell 0 1, out will be I1. In case of 1 0 of the selection line, then out is assigned to I2. When cell 1 is 1, cell 0 is 1, combination is 1 1. In this case, out is I3. Then AND case, and here we are using begin, so AND module. 2 to 4 decoder circuit is also designed using case statement. In last example, we have also designed this same circuit using if else statement. So here 2 inputs, in 1, in 2, and 4 outputs. Out 1, out 2, out 3, out 4. Input I1, I2, output out 1, out 2, out 3, out 4. And these are using here in procedural block in the left hand side of the procedural assignment. It means out 1, out 2, out 3, out 4. These variables should be register data types. Procedural block, if any change in the input signal, then expression will be executed. Begin case concatenation operation of in 1, in 2. In case of 0 0, then output will be 0 0 0 1. In case of 0 1, output will be 0 0 1 0. In case of 1 0, that is the concatenation operation of in 1, in 2. Output will be 0 1 0 0. In case of 1 1, output will be 1 0 0 0. If none of the condition is matched here, all output variables should be at high impedance. AND case, and then AND module. A JK flip-flop is also designed using case statement. In case of JK flip-flop, there are 3 inputs J, K, and clock, and 2 outputs Q and QR. So we are declaring inputs J, K, clock, output Q and QR. Here we are declaring Q as a register data type because Q is taken in the left hand side of the non-blocking assignment, and here we are assigning QR, that is the NOT operation of Q. Whenever change is occurred in the Q value, then immediately QR will be the NOT operation of Q. Procedural block, and in case of JK flip-flop, we are assuming that if there is any positive edge, then this expression will be executed. Begin case, and here concatenation operation of J and K. So in case of JK flip-flop, when JK terminals are 0 0, then output will be unchanged. The current output will be at the previous output. In case of 0 1, the output will be at logic 0. In case of 1 0, the output will be at logic 1. In case of 1 1, the current output will be the NOT operation of last output, that is logical NOT operation of Q, that is the last previous output. And here we are using non-blocking assignments, so all the expression will be executed parallelly. If none of the condition is matched, then default value for Q is Z, that is high impedance value, AND case, and then AND module. Looping statements. Similar to high-level languages like C, looping statements are also allowed in Verilog. The looping statements executes the sequential statements in looping manner till the condition is true. There are 4 looping statements in Verilog, and these are while, for, repeat, and forever. We will discuss all the statements one by one with examples. The first loop is while loop. The syntax for while loop is given here: while, condition, and depending on this condition, the sequential statement will be executed. An example for the illustration of the while loop is presented here. In this case, summation of first 100 numbers are calculated using while loop in Verilog. So Verilog program is given here. Module, that is reserved keyword, module name sum underscore example, and here we are adding the first 100 numbers using while loop. So in while loop we have to define a condition here. For defining this condition we have to define a variable, that is n variable, and it should be a integer type. Integer is also a register data type. Second variable, that is a sum, and it should be a register data type because we are updating the values of sum depending on this condition, while condition. Now we are initialize the values of sum and n. Initially we are taking sum is 0 and the value of integer n is 1. The condition for while loop is when n is less than equal to 100, then the expression will be executed. If this condition is not true, then these statements will not be executed. And these two statements are sequential in nature, and these are updating depending on the value of n. It means these two variables should be register data types, and here sum is sum plus n. So this loop is valid when this expression is true, when n is less than or equal to 100. Finally, the simulator display the sum value here, and that is the system task $display and end module. For looping, most frequently used looping statement. The syntax is given here for condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. Condition 1 is the initial condition, condition 2 is the expression, and it shows how much time the sequential statements will be executed. Condition 3 show the iteration control parameter. Here example is given. One variable we have taken I equal to 0, that is initial value of I, and expression or condition is given here for variable I, that is less than 255. Then iteration controlling parameter, that is I equal to I plus 1. I will be incremented after the each iteration value. The same example is designed using the for loop. Module sum underscore example, that is module name, and here we are using for loop. So for loop we have to initialize a variable, that is here we are taken as a n, and it should be a integer type because we are adding the first 100 numbers. Integer n is defined here. It should be a integer register data type. First we are using initial block, and in initial block we are initializing the value of sum, that is 0 here, using a for loop. Start from 1 and it add the first 100 numbers by using this condition. N is less than equal to 100 and numbers are added one by one. So n is n plus 1. Sum equal to sum plus 1. Initially the sum is 0, and here for first case n equal to 1. So sum equal to 1, and it should be a register data type because sum is holding the value of previous sum, and finally we are displaying the sum value. End module. Repeat loop. In a repeat loop, a count number is provided. Sequential statement is executed by the count times. This value is fixed, therefore executes the program for a fixed number of times. The syntax for repeat loop is given here. Repeat, then count value, and depending on the count value, sequential statement or statements will be executed. And this count value is a number and it can be a constant, variable or single value. And count value is evaluated when the loop starts and not in between the loop execution in case of variable or single value count. A clock is generated using a repeat loop. In this example, the count value is 25. It means clock is generated 25 times. So Verilog programs for the generation of clock signal using repeat loop is given here. Clock underscore generation, module name, clock, that is the output variable. Here we are using clock variable in the left hand side of blocking assignments. That's why clock should be a register data type. So output register clock. Clock is initialized at value 0 and we are using repeat loop. After the 5 time unit delay, clock will be the not operation of clock signal. So initially clock is at logic 0, after the 5 time unit clock will be at logic 1. So here total time period is 10 time unit. That is the clock generation using repeat loop. Another example using the repeat loop. Here we are using a multiplication operation. Here we are multiplying the numbers by 10 and number is start with 10. It means in the final display value it will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100 because it 10 is multiplied by 10 times using the repeat loop. Here we are declaring a integer that is I and initialized this integer value 10 and final product we are using a variable product here and it should be a register data types. Product is initialized here in initial block, then using a repeat loop and we are mentioning 10 here. It means product is multiplied by 10 times. Begin product equal to product plus I. So it simply show a multiplication operation. Initially product is 0. So product is 0 plus I. I is initially at 10. Product for first iteration will be 10. In next case, product is 10 plus I is 10, 20. This loop will be executed 10 times. And final product will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. The last looping statement is forever, which never use any condition or expression. The loop is executed for infinite times. This is something while loop where condition is always true. Like when in case of while loop we are mentioning a condition 1 is less than 10. Then this condition is always true. It means this loop will be executed infinitely. It means this one is a forever loop. The syntax is forever, then sequential statement. It is important to note without giving any delay value, the program never executed because time is not advancing and simulator simulates the program in finite time at time t equal to 0. The program is terminated using $finish system task. Here clock is generated using forever loop. Module keyword module name clock underscore gen and here output variable is clock and this variable should be register data types. So output will be clock and it should be a register data type. Initially we are initializing the value of clock that is at logic 0. After the 5 time unit clock will be at logic 1 and then after the 5 time unit clock will be at logic 0. So it will be in repetitive manner and this program will never be terminated without using $finish system task. Generate block. Generate block is useful for the generation of multiple identical copies of the modules before the start of the simulation, particularly when the same operation or module instance is repeated for multiple bits of a vector. For example, two inputs A and B are given as 4-bit numbers. A is 1010, B is 0110, and XOR operation is required here. Then A XOR B is 1100. It means we are using a bitwise operation here, and the operation start from the least significant bit for both the numbers. So first XOR operation is performed for 0 XOR 0. It means A XOR B will be 0. Then move to the next bit position. In case of variable A, next bit position is 1. In case of B, next bit position is 1. So 1 XOR 1 is 0. Then move to the next bit position. 0 XOR 0, output will be 1. 1 0, output will be 1. So in case of 4-bit numbers, we require 4 XOR operation to complete the XOR operation between these two numbers. If bit size is increasing for both numbers, then XOR operations will also be increased. It means multiple identical XOR operations module is needed in such programs. Generate block may be used here for the compact description, otherwise program will be lengthy. Generate and generate. These are the reserved keywords and are used for generate block. There are 3 types of generate statements, and these are for loop, case and conditional. Generate variable or genvar. It is a reserved keyword and widely used in case of for loop. For loop generate statement, the syntax will be, we should define genvar variable here, and using generate and generate keywords, we are defining the generate block here, and this one is for loop. So for loop, there will be 3 conditions: initial value, final value and increment. And there are number of sequential circuits, then we should use begin and end. Here example is given using for loop. XOR gate is designed using for loop generate block. In case of XOR, there are 2 inputs A and B and 1 output C. So inputs are A and B and output will be C. The parameter n is defined for the condition for loop. Here genvar is I and it will be used in for loop. So parameter n and genvar I, these two variables are using inside the for loop for declaring the initial, final and increment values. Then begin colon XOR underscore loop. This one is generate loop name. We can give any name here, and XOR label of XOR is x1 and inside bracket output C, then inputs A and B. XOR is reserved keyword used for XOR operation. So we are using an instance here, that is XOR here, and using this instance we are generating multiple copies. So XOR label x1 Ci Ai Bi. In case of first condition, I equal to 1, I greater than n is 0 and I is 1. It means this condition will be true. So loop will be executed here, XOR x1, and first XOR operation is there, C1 A1 B1. In second loop, when I equal to 2, condition is true, XOR will be C2 A2 V2, similar to next numbers. So here we can generate multiple copies of the XOR function and generate then AND module. The same example is designed here using case generate statement. The syntax for case statement is given here: generate case, then condition, and this condition is met with the number of condition available here, and the statements will be executed depending on these conditions, and we should define default condition here, and case and generate. So XOR gate is designed using case generate statement here. Two inputs AV and one output C, and here we are defining a parameter and that is equal to 1. Inputs AV, output C, and generate block. In generate block we are using case statement. Here case condition is 1, and here condition 1 is 1, condition 2 is 2. N is defined 1, so condition 1 will always be true. XOR operation of A and B, and output will be C. So here this condition will be executed. The next generate conditional statement, and here we are using if else statements inside the generate block. Generate, then if else conditions. If condition is true, execute the statement first. If it is not true, then execute the statement 2. Same example, XOR get using conditional generate statement. Here we are designed XOR get using get label and data flow modeling styles. So here XOR get is designed using get label, module name XOR get, inputs AV, output C, and here we are using XOR keyword available in the get label modeling CAV and module. In second case, XOR is designed using data flow modeling, inputs AV, output C. The module name is XOR underscore data flow, and here the module name is XOR underscore gate. Now we are starting the top level module using the generate block, module keyword, and module name XOR underscore design, inputs AV, output C. Here we are defining a variable n equal to 0, generate if else conditions here. If n is true, it means when n equal to 1, then execute this operation XOR underscore gate. It means this one is the XOR underscore gate module. Else execute XOR underscore data flow. XOR underscore data flow, it means data flow modeling style. XOR using data flow modeling. So in this case n is equal to 0, so XOR underscore data flow, this expression will be executed, and this one is the port mapping. Here we are using instance XOR here,